Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 8 of What If Naruto Became the God of Wind. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also stay in tune for What If Naruto was a godly mage, and I do hope that you guys enjoy. And over on Anime King 2, I'm going to be posting What If Naruto got his memories sealed away. And also, what if Naruto is an OP Seal Master? So stay tuned for that as well, and I hope you guys do enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, Naruto made his way to Kiri, as he was stopped by Ao, as a man wanted to place him in cuffs so he could meet the leader of the resistant forces. But Naruto wasn't going to stand for that because the seals on the cuff was going to cut off his chakra supply completely. As they all start to rally up, making Naruto get rather serious, raising his killing intent all over the place. But then Zabuza came there and quelled all of that, as he vouched for Naruto, as they were taking the Major Room, where they discuss, and Naruto told them who he is and who his father is, making them trust him even more, as Mei gave him back his sword. So with that, they started a battle plan, as the rest of the forces went off to face off against the Mizukage's army, while the small platoon went towards the Mizukage himself, as the man was able to break through Naruto Genjutsu because Naruto was using a bit of yokai and he could sense it, because of the demonic power inside of him. As both him and Naruto started the battle, as Naruto was throwing jutsus from jutsus left and right, but the man kept on countering them. As Naruto started to kick it up a notch, as the both of them started to clash, as Naruto slapped him the wrestling shuriken that exploded on him, as it completely destroyed his chakra system, as Naruto started knocking him around, as Mei and the others then appear around him with a kunai, which Naruto had placed seals on all of them. As he went through Hansa and chains burst on the kunais, as the steel narrate started to light up as it grabbed Yagura and restrained him out of his bejeweled form, as the man passed out. Some time passed after that as Mei made Naruto official 8-member swordsman, as right now he didn't have to quit Konoha or anything like that, but he still have privilege in Kiri because of what he did for them. Back at Konoha, as Nadi received the letter, as he was happy that the kid got it done so quick, but then Paul and Gamabunta came to the village, as they received the dreadful news. When Naruto returned, he was surprised, as Paul told him that Jiraiya died, as Jiraiya had left a message behind so they could face off against pain in the future, as Naruto was saddened by that as he went off by himself. But Sarutobi found him and talked to him, as Naruto was going to defeat this pain. After they break the message with Naruto help, it read, the real one wasn't amongst them, as they did not understand that the same way. Not even Paul understood. Some time passed after that as Naruto was still trying to get Natsue out of the seal. Freeing her out of the seal would unlock a new part of his bloodline, something even stronger than what he has now. But he needed a key, as he didn't know where the key was. So he went to Sarutobi, as Sarutobi figured that who would have it was the Toads. But Naruto had no way to contact them, so he would have to go to the Dragon Summoning World and try if he could get to the Toad Summoning World from there. Meanwhile, as Orochimaru's body was getting even worse, as Kabuto has prepped the preparations for Sasuke. But it seems like Kabuto was really working for Sasuke, or he's under some kind of illusion, as Kabuto has been poisoning Orochimaru slowly to make his body even weaker. As Kabuto told Sasuke that he will have a time frame before Orochimaru was able to use the curse mark on him to subdue him. And with that, Sasuke stepped forward to end Orochimaru's life once and for all. So yeah guys, so it's basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say begin this new episode? Shidori Aiso, Sasuke said, as a lightning beam left his extended hand and went right through Orochimaru's door. The lightning spear was about to pierce Orochimaru right in the throat, but he caught it with his hand as it made him pierce it instead and pin his hands against the wall. Sasuke then sliced the door up as he stepped inside. Orochimaru quickly tried to activate the cursed seal, but nothing happened. Surprised that your little seal isn't working, huh? Sasuke taunted. How? Orochimaru said, as he felt his body going numb from the lightning. You should really pay more attention to your subordinates, and never trust someone who already betrayed their last master to join you, said Sasuke. So, you betrayed me too, Kabuto, said Orochimaru. You should start feeling it now, said Kabuto, stepping into the doorway. The poison that you want me to feed to Sasuke. Instead, I gave it to you. You have no more chakra and no more energy left. There is nothing that you can do, said Kabuto. Why? Orochimaru asked. You want to know why? You changed. You're not the strong person you were in the past anymore. Lately, every plan that you set in motion ended in failure. I decided to follow someone stronger. Your era is now over. It's time you join your ex-teammate in the afterlife, said Kabuto with a smirk. Go gather everyone, Sasuke said, as he stepped forward. Yes, Uchiha-sama, said Kabuto. As Orochimaru couldn't even reveal his white snake out of his mouth, his body was in terrible shape, he couldn't do anything. As he watched, Sasuke came for his head. Sasuke didn't wait a second as he sliced Orochimaru's head off, slicing up his body in the process as well. Meanwhile, as Naruto was in his personal training ground, as he went through Hansign, summoning Jutsu, he said. There was a poof of smoke as the fire dragon made his appearance. What can I do for you today, Naruto-sama? The dragon asked. I need to speak with Ryu-sama. Could you ask him to reverse summon me to your realm, please? Naruto asked. Very well, Naruto-sama, said the fire dragon, as he poofed away. Moments later, Naruto vanished as well. In the dragon realm, Naruto reappeared on the mountain where he met the Dragon King for the first time. What can I do for you, Naruto? The Dragon King said as he landed right in front of Naruto. Naruto bowed down a bit as he greeted the leader of the dragons, as he told him why he came to visit. Yes, you have been well informed. All the summoned creatures come from this world. They all belong to one of the numerous lands, like the one we're currently in, said the Dragon Lord. Then can you show me the way to the Toad's area? Asked Naruto. You are very lucky that the Toad are a part of the alliance that we the Dragon Clan belong to. Had it not been the case, I wouldn't have been able to help you meeting them. It is forbidden for us to bring our summoners out of our land of control. Thank you for your help, Naruto said. I will immediately take my leave then. Moments later, at the Toad area, it took 2 hours for Naruto to reach the Toad world, as he was riding on his fire dragon. The moment they landed, they were surrounded by toads. Identify yourself. What is a dragon doing here? With a human nonetheless. Be quiet, Gamatsu. They are the guests that the Elder Sage has predicted who will come and visit us. Oh, they are, said Gamatsu. Naruto-chan, what are you doing here? Said a voice. As Naruto turned to see Fukazaku. I came to ask you about something my father may have entrusted one of you on the day of my birth. He calls it a key in his notes. It's really important. I really need to know who my father summoned on that day. I see, you are correct. Your father did entrust us with the key. However, just because he was your father, we won't give you the key until you can prove yourself. I understand, Naruto said. What do I need to do to prove that I deserve it? He asked respectfully. Come with me, our great Elder Sage foresaw your arrival, riding on top one of our allies, Dragon Clans. Listen, when we reach his destiny, he will reveal your destiny to you. Did ever Sennin got his fate revealed in the same manner in the axe? Yes, Jiraiya boy came here in the past. He had his fate revealed to him in the same way you're going to get yours right now. Moments later, as Naruto stood in front of the great Elder Toad, as Ma and Pa were there, sitting on the left and the right of the Elder Toad. Naruto-chan, here's my wife Shima, one of the other 2 Elder Sage of Mount Miyamoku. In the center is our great Elder Sage, the oldest and wisest of us all. He will now read your future as he can, said Fukazaku. It is great to see you again, the great sage said. Wait, who are you again? Naruto's sweat dropped. This is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the great elder. You said that he would visit us, that is why I brought him here in the first place, said Fukazaku, So this is your latest disciple. He really looked like the last one you brought here before him, said Shima. Oh, Uzumaki Naruto. Yes, I have seen the vision. Are you ready for it? The Great Toad asked. I am ready, Naruto said. Please tell me what you saw. In my vision, I saw you fight in a great battle. The vision isn't clear though. Your body is covered by a thick mist. And I can't see who your enemy is. All I can see are his eyes. They hold great power. At the end of the war, you will be given a choice. From your answer, the fate of the world will depend. If you choose wrong, the world will come to an end. I see, said Naruto. There's a lot to take in. So from my actions, the world can either be safe or come to an end. Did you see anything else in your vision, Great Elder? Naruto asked. Yes, during your journey, you will meet new friends. I see you training with an octopus and a cat. They will help you in your future endeavors. I also saw you open up the seal that hold back the power of the fox, the sage said. Meeting an octopus and a cat. That is quite mysterious, Naruto said. So you saw me open the seal. Does that mean that you have the key then? Garatora, come in here, said the Great Elder. As another toad appeared, his body looked like a large scroll. So you have the key, Naruto said. So how are we doing this? The toad unraveled himself. Inside was a very complex seal with a square mark at the center. Naruto's eyes widened at sight. He never expected the key to be another Fem.Kyuubi scroll. You have to put your hand right here inside the square mark and channel chakra through it. Then I will store myself inside your body. You will be able to apply the key to your seal at the moment at your choice after this. The key has the power to weaken or strengthen or completely remove the seal. After Naruto placed his fingers on the box, as his print came on it. Open your mouth, the toad said. My mouth? Said Naruto. Yes. As Naruto opened his mouth, the toad then dived right inside. As Naruto started to choke, Paul jumped over as he kicked the scroll toad right in Naruto's throat. As Naruto almost threw up, but he held himself. As Naruto shivered. Time skip. Tsunade was currently inside of her office. It has been a week since Naruto disappeared off the face of Konoha and no one could find him. Tsunade and Shizune, the only two that was allowed entrance and to the less restricted place of the Namikaze compound, saw no evidence of him being there. In the living room, a simple note said that he left for training and he will be back as soon as possible. His absence was immediately noted in the council meeting that took yesterday. She could not lie about sending him out on a mission, so she told them that due to internal family affairs, he was not able to join them that day. It was good thing Konoha clan had such privilege. The rules would not work for much longer though, and Naruto had better come back before the other council meeting or they will start to get rather suspicious. The civilian side, and especially Danzo, will not miss a chance to remove Naruto from the council or mark him as a missing name. As Tsunade could see that Sarutobi knew something about it. As he had a smile on his face, Tsunade knew that face. He most likely knew about Naruto's whereabouts. But it was a good thing. If Sarutobi wasn't making a fuss about it, that meant that Naruto was, well, safe. Meanwhile, at Training Ground 7, it was a very calm day for Haruna Sakura. Her shift at the hospital ended and she had nothing more to do for the day. As she decided to go and train herself in her old Team 7 training ground. She decided to train her taijutsu style first and went through the movements she learned from Tsunade. Ever since Sasuke deserted to leave, she took her training very seriously. As she trained for the better part of the afternoon, taking small breaks to not strain her body too much. She was about to call it a day, but then a hawk landed right in front of her. As it made its way over, she saw a message on the hawk's leg. As she bent down and took it and unrolled it. Sakura, I need to speak to you. Meet me tonight. I will find you as soon as you step outside the village walls. Channel chakra into the paper as soon as you're done reading it. From Sasuke Uchiha. Sakura was stunned beyond belief as her hands started to shake. Her loyalty to her master and the village tell her that she must go to the Hokage's office and show this to Tsunade right away. But her heart, however, tell her to do what's said in the message as she destroyed it. She remained in the same spot for quite a long time, lost in her own thoughts. She saw herself at the academy looking at Sasuke with love in her eyes. She also saw the hard work she did under Tsunade's tutelage, how fulfilling it was. But her heart won. So that night, Tsunade lost one of her precious students, and Konoha lost a great medical ninja, as Sakura was easily able to defeat the two Chunin guards as she disappeared into the darkness of night. Meanwhile, in the unknown cave, as the Akatsuki base, all of them was in their holographic form. Good, everyone is here. Let's begin the meeting then. Zetsu, make your report. Yes, the remaining targets are the Ichibai Aksabi, the Nibi, and the Kyuubi. The Ichibai and the Kyuubi are well aware of our intention of capturing them, and they have not appeared without a good protection in shore ever since. Our best chance for now is to target the other two, the Nibi and the Aksabi, said Zetsu. Knowing the leaf, they most likely try to warn Kumo about us, but the Raikage is a rather stubborn man. They will not act based on some information sent by their old enemy, said Itachi. It's a shame we never managed to get a spy inside of Kumo. They're highly suspicious and they watch their borders rather tightly. Infiltration won't work easy against them, but it's still the best option we have so far, said the leader. So who is going this time? Hidan asked, a bit of excitement. Before that, do you have anything else to report, Zetsu? Asks the leader. Yes. It seems our former member Orochimaru is dead. Who did it? Asked the leader. Well, it's none other than your brother, Itachi. As Zetsu looked over, as Itachi had his eyes closed, he even managed to turn Kabuto against his former master. Together they plotted Sasuke takeover of the Hidden Zone and eliminated any obstacles in their way before they finally attacked Orochimaru, said Zetsu. So that slivering freak finally died, a shame. I want to show him who the real immortal is, said Hidan with a smirk. What of his ring, the leader asked. Neither Kabuto or Sasuke had been seen wearing it. It seems they don't know its worth or what it really does. It is most likely still hide somewhere by Orochimaru. Very well. Now all of you listen up, said the leader. Hidan, Kakazu, and Kisame will go and capture the Nibi and the Hatsubi. It is isolated from the rest of the world, and unlike Konoha or the Sand, they aren't really expecting us to make a move against them. Both targets have complete control of their tail beasts. Your mission will require power, that is why I choose you members. During that time, Itachi, Deidara, and Tobi will go to the Hidden Zone and take back Orochimaru's ring. Same as Kumo, with Orochimaru dead, none of them would expect us to come after them, same with Kumo. Zetsu will assist both groups in information gathering and infiltration. That will be all. Dismiss, he said. Timeskip, at the Dragon Realm. It was nighttime and Naruto was still training. Even the darkness wouldn't stop him from achieving his goal, as his eyes had on the Dragon Sage mode, as he could perfectly see in the dark. As Naruto's body was sent sailing before he smashed into a wall. Damn it, he said. I finally have enough chakra to perform the final level of my bloodline. But the control to achieve it is too damn high, he yelled. You have to calm yourself down, Naruto-kun. With the modification you made to the seal, you can now call forth all of my yokai. It is a double of what you're used to using, so it is perfectly fine that you need to refine your control a little bit to open the final door to our bloodline, said Natsuki. I know, Naruto said. Thank you for helping me. The moment that Naruto came back from the Toad era, he weakened the seal so he could use more yokai. He used every precaution possible, as he evacuated the area, and the Dragon King was there to watch him in case he lost himself to bloodlust. That is why it took a week, because they weakened it, one by one. After a week of training, he finally reached the final last tail, but his control over it was still a bit low, as he just needed more concentration. Meanwhile, at the Hidden Zone main base, Sakura slowly opened her eyes, only to find herself in a room she did not recognize. The last thing she remembered was knocking out the two guards before running for 15 minutes. She then heard laughing. She then turned to see Kabuto, as everything then went dark. As she got up off the bed and started to walk, looking around wondering where she was, she then heard voices as she turned the corner. She then saw him. He was sitting at a table with a bunch of other peoples. You're finally awake, Sakura, he said. Come with me. There is someone I need you to heal, he told her. Time skip. At Kumo, the Raikage. As he was sitting behind his desk, going through some paperwork, his eyes fell on a scroll sent to him a month ago by the 5th Hokage, Tsunade Senju. The message mentioned the group called the Akatsuki, made up of all S-rank criminals, whose goal was to kidnap and extract the Bijus from all of the Jinchurikis. Tsunade offered a temporary alliance to deal with the threat. The Raikage was a very cautious man behind his external, rough appearance, and he was a very intelligent man. He was of course weary of the past intention with Kuma and Konoha with the Hyuga incident. He even had to face their famous 4th Hokage when he was younger, and also, Tsunade was someone he respected for her strength and her skills. But this could be a ploy to have their own Jinchuriki trained by Killer Bee, seeing that Killer Bee has completely mastered his Bijutsu. On the other hand, the threat could be real, as Tsunade didn't strike him as someone who used such a lame strategy, and it was his brother and adoptive daughter life that he had to protect. Would he take the risk of refusing Konoha help, putting his family at risk, and for the sake of what? Past grudges and irrational fears. He didn't have much time to think about it, as he was suddenly interrupted by a kunoichi coming in his office. She had long, straight, blonde hair tied together with bandages, and she had dark eyes. She wore short sleeve, black and purple blouse, and black pants, as they had designs of clothes on them, as she wore black fingerless gloves, and a chain of white beads around her left hand. This kunoichi was none other than Yujito, the two-tailed Nebe, Jinjuriki. As A saw that she was trying to catch her breath. Something was wrong. Yujito, what happened? He said. Why are you so tired and where is B? Weren't you supposed to be training with him today? Intruders, Raikage-sama. They were after me and B, and he decided to stay there to hold them off while I warn you. How many of them? Do you recognize any of them? Where are they right now? A said as he got up. There were 3 of them, all of them wearing a dark robe with red clothes on them. I didn't recognize any of them, but they're very strong and they're still fighting at the Valley of Clouds and Lightning. I ran straight from there to here after B told me to fall back and call reinforcements. Very well, you stay here, I'll go. Anvu, he said, as his envoys appear in the room. The man didn't even take the door as he break through the window, as the envoys followed after him, but they were lost in his dust because he was incredibly fast. Time skip. When A and his man finally arrived, all they could see was the destruction. The Raikage could not feel the chocolate from his brother or the intruders, only destruction was left on the battlefield from their battle. Raikage-sama, there is strong evidence of Killer Bee used his yokai in transformed state, one of the envoys said, as he was specialized in tracking. Who could be strong enough to push B to release his Biju form? That's impossible, only Raikage-sama is strong enough to match him in that state, another envoy said. I can see traces of high elemental jutsu from every element. There is also blood samples we can take back for analytics. The third one said, I can only detect our chakra signatures in the era. No trace of Killer Bee or the other intruders. The envoy that was specialized in tracking said. The Raikage gritted his teeth, cursing his dismissal of the warning note from Konoha. Take every sample you need and prepare to go back. But what about your brother Raikage-sama? One of them asked. We do not have the means to follow after them right now. We have to regroup and think of a solid plan first. The envoys nodded as they start to gather the sample. Meanwhile, 3 Akatsuki members are looking on the base of the hidden zone. What's taking him so long? Said Deidara. He should be back soon, said Itachi. Tobi's a good boy, so you won't whine like Deidara-senpai. They then turned to see Zetsu rising from the ground. What do you have on them? Asked Deidara. I have marked the positions you need to bomb. It should be enough to make several of your tunnels collapse. And it will make it easier for Tobi to make his way to the room that we need to access, said Zetsu. Orochimaru was really retarded to build his base like this. I will show you all why art is a bang, Deidara said. Itachi then started to walk off. Where are you going, Itachi? Zetsu said. My brother is here. He would gladly follow after me once I show my face at the entrance. As everyone nodded, they head off to their destination. Meanwhile, at the Sound main base, inside, as Sasuke made his way into a room, Sakura, report, he said. Sasuke-kun, Sound Kage, she said. I started to administer the treatment to Subject X. His body is responding quite well, and he should be healed in a week or most. What about Subject Y? How is the treatment going for him? He is still in an artificial coma as you order, but why do you need to keep him in such a state, or even alive? She asked. He's of no consequence. His adoptive mother, though, holds great power. She will follow my orders as long as I keep her little pet alive. Suddenly, there was a massive explosion. Protect the patients and stay here, said Sasuke as he rushed out of the room. As he made it to his control room, as he saw Kabuto. Report, Kabuto, he said. We're under attack. There are at least 2 enemies. We managed to identify one of them though. Who is it? Sasuke asked. It's your brother. He's at the entrance, just standing there. Sasuke was surprised. He thought that Naruto killed his brother. Without saying anything, he rushed off straight towards Itachi's position. You're in charge until I come back. Have our troops move out and engage others. I will take Itachi, he said. Moments later, with Itachi. As Sasuke finally made his way out there, Itachi was just leaning up against a wall. Lightning started to crackle in the blade in Sasuke's hand. I see. You're as still foolish as ever, my little brother. Shut up, Sasuke shouted. You know nothing about me. As Sasuke leaped forward, Itachi dodged his blade. As Itachi watched Tobi enter the base, Sasuke started to slice at Itachi, completely forgetting about his own man, or his base, as he went after Itachi. I know all about your little coup, and the death of Orochimaru by your hand, said Itachi, going further away from the base. So you know about Orochimaru. I killed one former member of your secret organization already. Easily as well. Just as I'm about to kill you now. How naive of you, Sasuke. He was only interested in you just because he couldn't get me. I am the reason he left the organization all those years ago. He lost a fight to me and Vow to get a full-blooded Uchiha with a full-blooded Sharingan after that. It doesn't change the fact I killed him, Sasuke shouted. You'll be surprised how effective our spy network is. I know all about Orochimaru's state after his fight with Naruto-kun. All you did was waiting for him to become weak enough for you to attack. You're still weak as ever, little brother, said Itachi. Sasuke lost all self-deprecation right there as he charged towards Itachi's blind rage. The operation is a success, Zetsu said, appearing from the ground. As he quickly went on their back, Itachi then jumped away as he landed. He shut his eyes for a few seconds, as Sasuke charged forward again, the moment Sasuke was in front of him. Tsukuyomi, Itachi said. Meanwhile, with Deidara, as Deidara was currently faced off against Guren, all around them was countless victims from Deidara's bombing. There was also lots of collapsed rooms and tunnels that could be seen from a bird's eye view. You guys are so weak, it's a wonder how Orochimaru survived so long, said Deidara. Suddenly, Zetsu came from the ground. It was a success. It's time to go, he said, as he then went back down to the ground. It's your lucky day, Missy, said Deidara. It seems like I won't be killing you today. Or will I, he said. Don't forget, Art is a blast! Guren quickly went through hand sign as explosion exploded everywhere with Deidara flying off on his bird. When the smoke and everything cleared, Guren was trapped inside of a crystal wall as she dispelled her jutsu, but he was already gone. Sasuke appeared, well, on Kabuto's shoulder a couple minutes later as he was unconscious. We're moving to another base, Guren. This one is compromised. We can't stay here any longer. Time skip. It has been 2 weeks since Naruto went missing on his training trip. Tsunade had been worried about him, but she couldn't worry right now because they had to deal with bigger issues. On her deck stood a replying note from the Raikage. She thought that she wouldn't be getting one, seeing that she sent that message a month ago. He was asking for a 5 Kages meeting in the land of Iron, a neutral country between all of them. Each Kage was allowed to have 2 bodyguards. It seems like his brother, the 8-tailed ox, was captured. Bad news, Nani-sama? Asked Shizune. See for yourself. As she tossed Shizune the scroll as Shizune read over it. Who will you bring, Shizune asked, apart from me? You're not coming, Shizune. Before Shizune could say anything, Tsunade spoke. I want you to act as my supervisor. Seeing that I'm gone, you will take control of everything. I don't want Donzo or anyone else trying any funny idea. You're the only one I trust for this job. I would have bring Sakura and Kakashi, but the loss of Sakura was a very touchy subject for her. As the Chonins that woke up told what happened, Sakura had assaulted them before leaving the village, just like Sasuke did. I understand. Who shall I summon to go with you then? Get me Kakashi and Guy. A few hours later, Tsunade was gone with Kakashi and Guy. Suddenly, there was a poof in the Namikaze compound. Home sweet home, said Naruto, as he finally came back. Time skip. 9 cloaked figures were performing the extraction as Killer Bee body was there. After a couple seconds, suddenly, Killer Bee bodies poofed away, leaving a tentacle. As all of them stood there in silence for a few seconds until Itachi spoke. It seemed the Jinchuriki managed to trick you. But this is quite clever because even with my Sharingan, I did not notice anything. So 4 Jinchuriki still remain. Zetsu. How did Kumo react after our attacking their territory? It is most troubling. From the information I managed to gather, the Raikage was furious about his brother kidnapping and asked for a 5 Kages meeting. It is scheduled in 3 days and will take place on the neutral ground of a land of iron, said Zetsu. If the Jinchuriki wasn't with them, and all we managed to capture was a damn clone, where is that octopus idiot Hidan yelled? You will continue to monitor Kumo's actions, Zetsu. Still no news from the Kyuubi Jinchuriki either, asked the leader. Not since he disappeared without a trace inside Konoha. He may be in the place. Well, there are still some places I cannot penetrate, even with my blending powers, Zetsu said. Very well, what do you know about the Kage's meeting? Who are coming with them? Every Kage has accepted it. The Tishikage is coming with Kurosaki and Akisake. The Hokage is bringing Kakashi and Guy. The Mizukage is bringing Zabuza and Haku. The Raikage is bringing Yujito and Darue. And the Kazekage is bringing his 2 siblings, Temari and Kankuro. They're going to gather 2 of our targets in one place, with just a handful of samurai to protect them, said Deidara. This is indeed a great opportunity, said the leader. Time skip in the Iron Country took Tsunade 2 days to get there, as the constant challenge between Guy challenging Kakashi was getting on her nerves. Nevertheless, she had the perfect punishment for Naruto when he get back. She would send him on a long-term mission with those two. As they reached and they were escorted to the meeting room. As Kakashi and Guy went up to the observation part, where all the escorts were. As Tsunade sat down and took off her hat and placed it in front of her. Now that the Hokage has arrived, this meeting can start. I am Mifune, the general of the samurais of the Iron Country, and it's my pleasure to host this meeting between the 5 Kages of the 5 great nations. Now, Raikage Dano will be the one to speak first, seeing that he was the one who originally asked for this meeting, as A stood up before eyeing every Kage until he spoke. The reason I called for this meeting is the recent activities from the group called the Akatsuki. They attacked 2 of my subordinates and kidnapped one of them, my younger brother Killer B of the 8th Tail. I don't trust any of you, and I didn't plan to meet with any of you in the first place, much less cooperate with your village. I called you here to ascertain everyone's position towards that rogue group. Konoha, the Sand, the Stone, Kiri, Akatsuki has members from all of your villages. Furthermore, I even have proof that some of you actually used your help in the past, said the Raikage. Surely, you didn't make me come to this forsaken place in such a short time to start pointing fingers at me and the other Kages, Raikage Dano. I can assure you that this meeting will end very soon if that was the case, said Tsunade. I made sure to send an advance warning to every shinobi village to them a month ago, but the message was focused on you, Raikage. The Sand has been attacked by them in the past, so they know what kind of threat they face. But you still have 2 Jinchurikis and you've never faced a threat of the Akatsuki before. Nor were you aware of them, since they have no Kumo ninjas in their ranks, said Tsunade. What do you propose we do then, Hokage Dano? Asked Gaara. The same thing I asked in my letter to all of you. Temporary alliance between all of us to defeat our foes once and for all, said Tsunade. What do the rest of you say? Asked Mifune. Kiri will cooperate with the alliance. We already lost both of our Jinchuriki recently, but we will do whatever we can do to help defeat the Akatsuki once and for all, said me. The Sand will also join the alliance. Konoha are the elephants in the past against the Akatsuki. No one can tell when they will come back. I refuse to make my people suffer from it, said Gaara. Even though I still don't trust any of you, I have my people to consider too, said Raikage. Kumo will also participate in the alliance against the Akatsuki. As everyone turned towards the old Kage, it was then that Oniki floated out of his seat as he just stood there, not doing anything. He then snapped his eyes open. The hidden stone will never become Konoha ally, he shouted. He then extended his arm towards the other Kages and called a jutsu, Jinten, as a transparent cube appeared in the center of his hands. The thing trapped every Kage inside the confines, as the thing disintegrated everyone that was inside. Well, that was the goal of the jutsu, but every Kage found a way out of the death trap. As Kakashi appeared behind Tsunade using a jutsu, with the monkey Sharingan literally bending space around her. Gaara simply raised his Susanoo-yori, shielding him completely from the Kage's attack. The moment things went out of control, an ice mirror appeared behind me, courtesy from Haku, as she transported herself out of the dust jutsu. As A moved off with blinding speed before it exploded and caught him. But when everyone looked around, it seems the Tsuchikage was already gone with his 2 guards. It seems that the hidden stone won't join your alliance. As everyone turned to see a weird creature coming from the ground. Calm down everyone, we did not come here to fight, the clone said of Zetsu. What do you want? Asked Tsunade. Our leader has an offer for you all. We now have half of the Bichu at our disposal. Hand over the rest of them, and we will stop attacking your village. Failure to comprehend and accept this will be total destruction of your villages. You will pay for taking my brother. I will never hand over Yujito to you either, said the Raikage. Your brother? It seems like you're misunderstanding. We failed to capture your brother. He's a Jinchuriki with total control of his Biju after all. As the Raikage couldn't believe it, this would only mean one thing. Killer B took this chance to go away and fool around somewhere, using the Akatsuki attack as a cover. I will never let you get Naruto. The Kazekage is our ally, and we won't let you take him either, said Tsunade. Zetsu couldn't even move as the Raikage was already in front of him as he grabbed Zetsu by the throat. Talk! What are you up to? He's fast, what Zetsu said as he was being choked. Suddenly, a samurai burst into the room. Mifune-sama, 5 battalions of stone ninjas are marching towards this place as we speak. Meanwhile, at the border, Unki gave his troops the orders to launch their attack. No prisoners except for the Kazekage and the Raikage bodyguard, the woman. You must destroy Konoha and their allies. Today we will avenge our brothers and sisters, the ones who fought against him in the last war, said Unki. Is it really good to declare war against so many villages at the same time? Asked Kurosaki. She never liked Konoha, but to declare war against the entire world seemed very reckless for her. There's nothing to worry about if we manage to take out every Kage at the same time. They won't have a leadership to organize themselves. She was not convinced, but she knew better than going against his orders. Meanwhile, in an unknown hideout. After spying, Zetsu made it back to a cave where the leader and Tobi was waiting for him. Report, Zetsu, Tobi said, his voice sounded rather dark. Everything is going as scheduled, Madara. The stone is going to engage him at any moment now, said Zetsu. Everything is going as planned, said Madara, as he was behind all of this. His jutsu, the same one he placed on Yagura, he placed the same one on Unki, to reject any alliance between Konoha and the other forces. On another note, have we located the Hatsumi yet? Asked Madara as he looked over at Pain. We have a lead. I sent Kisame and Itachi there, said Nagato. Very well, said Madara, as he slowly disappeared in the darkness. Meanwhile, the meeting room. What should we do? Those samurais don't stand a chance against the stone groups. 5 battalions at 500 ninjas, said Mei. We form an alliance and help them win that battle. This is what we came for after all, before the Tsuchikage betrayed us. And that freak Akatsuki appeared, said Snaddy. I agree with the Hokage, let's do it, said Gaara. Very well, the sooner we end this, sooner I can go and get my brother. This place is built to resist against strategic attacks. I will show you towards the strategic points, said Mifune. As the rest of them nodded, time skipped as each Kage and their bodyguards were lined up, as the samurais are all ready as well. But the odds were not that great though, seeing that the shinobis are much more powerful than the samurais. Suddenly a powerful blast of wind erupted everywhere. When the wind died down, Snaddy looked up as she saw the back of the person. As he was on the wall, as he was looking out, Naruto, she yelled. You guys seem quite nervous. What's going on? Did I miss something, Bachan? Naruto asked. You're right on time as usual, Uzumaki Naruto said Gaara to his friend. It's nice to see you again, Naruto-kun, said Mei. So that's the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. I have to say he knows how to make an entrance, said the Raikage. I don't know if you're aware or not, but on my way here, I ran into these bunch of stone ninjas. They were quite aggressive and they attacked me, so I had to take them down, Naruto said. I hope the Tsuchikage will understand its self-defense, Naruto said, as everyone's sweat dropped here and that. Naruto turned his head as he noticed the girl over there. As Natsuki told him, that was a two-tailed cat. She looked at him as well, and she could feel it as well, and her Bichu must have told her. After everyone has gotten on the same page, Tsunade spoke. Raikage Dono. This is Naruto Uzumaki, one of the most powerful ninjas from the Leaf. You may already know him from his bingo boat monitor, the god of wind. Kazekage and Mizukage Dono have already met him in the past. Uzumaki. Are you perhaps related to Kushina Uzumaki? Asked A. Yes, she's my mother, Naruto said. And while we're on the subject, my father was the 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze. It's a pleasure to meet you, Raikage-sama. The people were rather surprised. In front of them stood the son of the Yellow Flash. As the Raikage thought you'd have to speak with Naruto about Kumo, intention to capture Kushina in the past, while he was not Raikage. Nice to meet you too, Naruto, he said. We have things to discuss about your parents, but this is not the time or the place to do it. Now what is it that you said about taking down stone ninjas on your way here? A asked. Yes, Naruto, what are you doing here? When did you get back from your training trip? Asked Nani. Oh, sorry about leaving without warning you first, Naruto said, but I need to leave as soon as possible. I went to a place where I could not contact you. Anyway, my training is completed, and I came back yesterday. Shizune explained the situation to me, and I left as soon as she told me about the meeting and what you were discussing. I think she tried to say something before I left, but I wasn't really paying attention. On my way here, I saw shinobi groups from the Hidden Stone advance into this position. They did not even let me talk. They started to attack as soon as they saw me. I thought that I was restricting on a diplomatic zone owned by the Hidden Stone, so I didn't want to cause any issue. I decided to just knock that group out that I found, and then I came here. Where is this stone? Delegate, by the way. I am positive it was self-defense. If you just let me speak to that old man, Naruto said as he looked around. He will understand, Bachan, said Naruto. As the people couldn't believe how Naruto was talking. Well, most of the disrespectful blunt tone he just spoke in, even to the leader of their village. Tsunade sighed as she decided to brief him on the whole situation. There will be no need to explain yourself with Onki, Naruto. the Hidden Stone attack us on the meeting and ran away after their surprise attack failed. The man you met out there are their backup plan. They will launch an attack on this fortress very soon. It's a shame you only knocked out those you encounter. We are severely outnumbered, said Snaddy. I see. What about the meeting? Did you guys reach an agreement about the Jinjulkis and the Akatsuki to axe? Yes, an alliance has been formed between the four of us. We will share any information we receive about Akatsuki, and we will assist each other in the fight against them. Jinjulki would be protected, and you may even get to train with them. Though you'll have to wait until Raikage finds his brother. Anyway, how many of them do you take out in your skirmish? Asked Raikage. Not that much, I'm afraid, Naruto said. A group of 50, I presume. I didn't really get a head count. As everyone, so it dropped once more. Taking out 50 of the Hidden Stone elites was not a small feat, but this boy was talking like it was nothing. Meanwhile, Kurosaki-sama, we lost all connection from our groups at Sector 1, said Stone Jonin. Have one squad investigate the zone. In the meantime, send man from Sector 2 and 3 to cover the hole in our line, said Kurosaki, not showing her surprise to the man in front of her. How could they have completely lost connection with Sector 1, she thought herself. She had a bad gut feeling about all of this. Even if they managed to kill all of the Kages, facing off all against the four great nations, that would be too much for them. The village had nothing to gain from this. Something was terribly wrong. As she looked over at her grandfather, as Akisaki was with him, they were leading a main assault that would clash against the main gate. She was left in charge of a secondary group that would surround the rest of the samurai's base. Back in the Akatsuki base, as Zetsu came out of the ground, it seems that the Kyuubi Jinjulki is back in the game, he reported. Where is he? Asked Pain. He thus broke through the Hidden Stone line, taking out several shinobi on his way, and joined the Kage's meeting. We have to seize this opportunity to get him. Send Kakuzo's Hidan in, said Pain. The stone is going for the Ichiban and Nibe. We will focus our effort on the Kyuubi now. Relay these orders to Kakuzo's Hidan. Their target is Uzumaki Naruto. It shall be done, said Zetsu as he sank on the ground. Time skip. As nightfall had came, as Naruto was at the main gate, as he saw the group approaching using the darkness to try and shield himself. The samurais on the wall were using bows, but the lack of light clearly was on the Hidden Stone side. The fortress was not built for ninja battle wars either, seeing that none of the walls had any protection against long-range ninjutsu, as many earth jutsus were used to launch sizable rocks at the walls, breaking them down. As a squad of the stone shinobis tried to breach the far right corner first, but that was the wrong thing for them to do, as they saw Blur pass by them, destroying a great portion of their troops. As Guy was already in his 7th gate, knocking down any one of them who came in his way with incredible speed and strength. As Kakashi was there as well, the both of them working as a wonderful duo, taking out all of the opposing ninjas. Snaddy with her monstrous strength started to crush any of them who tried to get past her. The Mizukage and her 2 guards also stood their line as well, as Haku was using his Hayaton to freeze many of the ninjas that came by, as Mei was using her lava to melt many of them, and melting the rocks that were launched at the towers, as Sabusa was using his giant blade to just cleave ninjas into half, as Gar was using his sand to crush any one of the projectiles coming towards them. Conqueror was using his puppets, and Temar was using her wing to blow them away. With the Raikage, as Yuchito, her claws were extended as she was tearing through ninjas like they were nothing, as A was right beside her, smashing right through the ninjas, as Darui was using his black lightning from a distance. Meanwhile, the main gate, as Mifune had chakra flowing through his sword as he sliced through the projectile coming towards the gate. Something was off and Naruto knew it, as he raised hand and fired another wind pulse that destroyed a rock coming towards him. Oniki was not taking part in the battle, as Naruto activated his Dragon Eyes. His eyes then went wide. "Take cover immediately," he said. "Get away from the gates." As what no one could see was the Tetsukage applying a sealing tag on a very large rock that the man that was with him, Akisaki, just lifted very easily. As Naruto knew that was sealed was a mass destruction or some kind of nasty jutsu. Destroy that boulder with any kind of long-range ninjutsu you got, Naruto yelled. As Mei and Gaara tried to shoot it down, but they broke pieces off of it. As a sealing tag then, it illuminated the place, a larger version of Onki Jinten. As the jutsu completely swallowed up a large part of the fortress, leaving a giant hole open. Thanks to Naruto's advance warning, they suffered no casualty in that attack. But the place was now wide open, as all of the side forces stopped their charge as they turned towards the main gate. And thus began the first battle of the alliance, Mifune announced grimly. All of the samurai started to panic as there was a large hole in their defensive now, and the stone shinobis would start to bear themselves inside. But silence, as all of them turned as they saw Naruto, as they didn't have to worry. My sensei once had a dream, Naruto said. He dreamed that one day the world will be united, in peace, and that one day man will finally understand each other. He sacrificed many things along the way just trying to reach it. Friendships, love, family, happiness, many things. Many wrote him off as an idealistic fool. And yet we are united in this place, ninjas, samurais together from different villages, protecting this place as one. Those 500 stone shinobis has wrote us off. But it doesn't matter because we will not fall. The fight is not over and this battle is not over. Let's win this together. Let's go back to our loved ones and our families. Help me show the entire world that my master was not idealistic fool, Naruto said. All those who knew Minato Namikaze was Shi's shadow behind Naruto, as they knew that a legend was born, not his heritage was revealed. The world will finally understand the power of the god of wind. That was a great speech, Naruto-kun, said Kyuubi. Very inspiring. Thank you, Naruto said. Meanwhile, two shadows were watching back from afar. Why the hell can't we just go in and join the battle as Hidan? Can't you shut up already, Hidan? We will remain here and wait at two sides, wear each other out first. Aren't you a bit too cautious, Kakazu? It's not like anything down there could actually kill us, you know? Our target is quite the tricky one. We can't let him know that we're here. Until it's too late. Fine, then I call dibs on him. I will show that fake god that Jashin Sama is only true god. God of wind my ass, said Hidan. Meanwhile, I'll let you handle the gate, old man, Naruto says he stepped forward. Will you be alright on your own? I can always have some of my men go with you. No, it's okay, Naruto said. Some of my attacks are really destructive in a wide, long range. So, I don't want him to get hurt, but I'll be fine, Naruto says he bit his finger as he went through hand sign, summoning jutsu. As the Dragon King Ryua appeared himself. His eyes look like Naruto's when Naruto activated his Dragon Sage mode. This is the first time you summoned me, Naruto. I do hope that you haven't called me here for one of your stupid pranks. I assure you that's not the case, said Naruto. Just take a look. I see. Well then, let's go. It's been a long time since I have battled in the human world. Alright, let's fly, Naruto said. As the dragon started to flap his wing as a massive gust erupted as he took off with Naruto on his head. Meanwhile, report, Onki was not pleased as his man wasn't getting through. We cannot manage to break through. They have all of their resistance on the wall. They kept on knocking us down, sir. Onki felt something. The wind pattern just changed. Move, he said. He was fastened, but the 5 men that was with him completely stopped. It was then their bodies got split apart by an invisible wind current that sliced into pieces. Onki looked up at the others as well. As that could only be. It was Minato Namikaze. He's come back from the dead. Minato Namikaze, you will pay for your crimes against his stone, said Onki. Are you going senile, old man, Naruto said. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I'm not my old man, Naruto said, as Naruto sheathed his blade. You ready, Naruto said. Of course I am, Dragon King said. Alright, Naruto said. Dive. The Dragon King then started to dive down as Naruto's body started to hum with pure, unbridled power, going straight into the heart of the force. Protect the Tsuchikage, Akizuki yelled as all of them jumped forward to protect Oniki, but they felt like something was wrong. Like their bodies were screaming at them to move as they watched a massive dragon come down towards them, and not to mention that boy on top of his head, as wind was literally picking up around Naruto and dashing about in all directions as Naruto came down on all of them. But guys, if you end this episode right here, if you want the next part of this, know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on bell notifications to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.